Welcome back to the Washington Journalism and Media Conference held at George Mason University. I can't believe it's already day 5. I remember waking up this morning getting into professional clothing to head to breakfast, which I don't remember, to board the bus to head to the National Mall. From there, we stopped at the Ulysses S. Grant Memorial to take professional photos. And from there, I went to the Russell Building to meet with Michigan Senator Elissa Slotkin's speechwriter, Alexis Sargent, and we talked about the craft and how she writes her speeches, and my work as a journalist, some laws or things I want the federal government to work on, which I'll explain in a little bit, because after that I went to the National Gallery of Art with a few people. After meeting up with them and explored, it was awesome. Before I went back in that direction to the Hart Building to meet with Michigan Senator Gary Peters, his chief of staff, Caitlin Stevenson, Ben Finfrock, and Michael Dexter, who are press schedulers. And Michael also handles the digital stuff when it comes to social media. And from there, I was talking a lot about adding more security for religious institutions coming from recent attacks like the March 12th car driven into Temple Israel in West Bloomfield, Michigan, or when there was something that happened at a mosque a couple months ago. It shouldn't have to come out of the pocket of that institution to have to cover their security. People should feel safe going. I was also talking about the Student Voices Act and the cases that got to where we're at now, where student journalists aren't protected. I wanted to talk about that and see if there was anything that could be done on a national level. And I recently wrote an article on Max Columbus Productions.weebly.com about America 250, and I wrote the Trumpification of America. You know, why are we trying to beautify America, change laws to better suit one person when it's already so beautiful, the fact that we're here? So that was something I really wanted to talk about, and started with going into the abuse of power. Now, I didn't formally structure these conversations. I thought about them. I thought, I'm not going to formally write it out, because as a journalist, I just want a normal conversation. I can talk about my work, podcasting, how I got to where I am, and tie in these issues within the articles that I've written, specifically the Why Never Again Means Now and how it connects to Passover story. That's where I fit in the funding for religious institutions. And so that was really fun. And then we left the National Mall after that meeting and went back to George Mason University, where we had about 2 hours to get gala ready. And from there, we went to a Marriott for our gala, and we ate dinner, had fun dancing. I'm in a different suit for that than I was earlier today. And then we were listening to sad songs on the way home. We've made some amazing friendships. We've all met some incredible people here. And we just don't want it to end, specifically the friendships. I look back at friendships in the past. When I've been in a group, we've never been on a bus jamming out to sad songs. We were all singing. It was a community. You know, you often watch the movies and see that, like at a summer camp movie. So to be able to do that, that just hits in a different way than you expect it. Well, we've got one more day with closing ceremonies, breakfast, and the airport, and we'll see you soon.